I've been working at the University of Michigan for 29 years come this February. My role here is I work for environmental services as a custodian too, and I do stripping and waxing, and I'm actually a police housekeeper on 3 floors. And when people call me for requests, I'm there to handle whatever their requests are. I encounter the staff and basically the patients. I'm basically here for the patients. If they go to the restroom and they're out of paper towel or toilet paper, they call me to bring in the soap, the toilet paper. If the staff is out of soap at one of the sinks, I'm there to replenish the soap. If there is a spill, I'm there to clean it up. Well, my involvement is basically with the patients. I'm basically a people person, and I try and have a smile on my face every day, no matter what's going on at home or with the department or with coworkers. When the patients see me, they have to see a smile, because you have to understand, when they come here, they're very sick. They don't want to come to an environment where everybody is frowning and pouting and there's fighting amongst each other. So I try and always have a smile, and I'm kind of a jokester. So from time to time, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, and when I push a cart, I accidentally run into a wall or something. And I actually get a lot of laughs out the patients, and for some reason, they'll always remember me doing that. So the next time they come, they're like, "Oh, I remember you. You the one got your driver's license at Sears." And they'll just laugh and laugh. And so then from that point on, no matter how long they come, they'll always remember that, and they'll start laughing. Because see, my building is the cancer center, and our patients are here to get chemo, and they go to another building to get radiation, and they become really sick with the chemo and the medication. They're here for many hours getting their treatments. So it's really important for me, being that I'm the only housekeeper over here, that they see a positive person and that the environment is clean. Most of the patients here have nausea problems, and when I have to go and clean like bedside, and they've, threw up, and they're always apologizing about, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I have to tell them, "Listen, you just paid for a crown, and I have another crown I need to get in a couple of months, so do this, please, because you'll feel better and you'll help pay for my crown." And when I tell them that, they're very reassured, and then when they do it again, they're not so apt to be so defensive, thinking I'm going to be upset when I'm never upset. It's so job security. It really is. Well, I've been at the U of M 29 years, but I've been at the Cancer Center 10 and a half. That's how long the building's been. And I've had a lot of really great relationships here. I do have a story to tell of one of our patients. I was doing one of my trash runs, and I happened to look at the elevator, and people were standing around. So being nosy as I am, I went over to see what was going on, and one of my favorite patients was on the floor with her mother, and her mother was praying over, and I said, "Well, what's wrong?" And her mother said she fell on the floor because she's in so much pain. So meanwhile, there was a staff standing there, and I looked at the clerk and told her to call 911. And then I said, "No, call security." I said, "No." I said, "You want to go to the ER?" And she said, "No, I just want to go back up to the phases," which is another extension that we had built about a year ago. So the staff member that was at the elevator, I said, "What are you waiting for?" She said, "I need the elevator." And I looked at her, I said, "You can catch that other elevator." So she took the other elevator because I needed this elevator to get her back up. So their friend went and got a wheelchair. So the friend brought the wheelchair on the elevator, and she said, watch my side, I'm hurting." So I knew not to grab her on her side. So they grabbed her arms, I grabbed her legs, and we got her into the wheelchair, and I pushed B1 and took her up to the expansion. And so when we ran in there, the head nurse said, "What's wrong?" I said, "She passed out on the elevator." And so she looked at the patient, she said, "What's wrong?" And the patient went on to explain to her, then I went on and did my work. And about an hour later, I came back to check on her. And she looked at me, she said, "There's my savior." And her mother came up to me and said, "What's your name?" And I told her, "My name is Candice." And they just hugged me, because I was the only one that took charge. Everybody else was like, they didn't know what to do. But I'm like that. When one of our cancer patients pass out, you gotta be quick, because you don't know if they're hemorrhaging, if they're getting ready to have a heart attack. And since then, we've been extremely close. I don't keep in touch after the fact because working here it's different than the main hospital. So I really don't call people and they don't call me. I just deal with them here because this is what's really important. As long as their experience here is wonderful and that the treatment is working or not working, but at least they're comfortable coming here. My relationships with the family is really important to me. It's important that when they come to my building that it looks clean and it smells clean. We are told not to wear strong perfumes and stuff because it makes them nauseous because of the treatments that they're getting. I am really close to the husbands, the wives, the mothers, the sisters and brothers because they usually come to be with them because they need a ride home because like I've stated earlier, they're here for hours. And I come in and out of the areas that they're in just to look and just to say hi. And sometimes all I have to do is just look and go. And they'll bust out laughing, and that'll help them to kind of relax more when they're getting their treatment because certain cancer medications are a lot stronger than others, and it makes them really sick. And if I can be that one quick spot in their life where they can see me and then not think about what they're getting and relax a little bit, it'll help with the rest of their treatments. I interact with their families as far as they might need coffee. We have juice, we have bagels, we have graham crackers, we have regular crackers. And a lot of times I ask them, do you need anything? Do you need a newspaper? Do you need juice? Do you need just some ice water? And that'll keep them calm because it's rather tedious to be there for all these hours to watch your loved one getting all this treatment. So I help the patients and I help their families just be calm and relax until the next day or until their next treatments. It's really emotional here because of the type of patients that we have. And there are days, I wouldn't be human if I didn't say this, that I think about I need to go to another area because some days it's just overbearing because some days I come to work and find out that Joe Blow is now no longer with us. And especially if I've gotten really close to him, it's really hard on some days. But then I'll go home and I'll pray and I'll think, no, they need me here. I really enjoy what I do, and you're going to have bad days. I just go home and pray, and then I wake up the next morning, and it's a new day, and everything's all good. I think I'm a positive influence to the Cancer Center because of my personality, because I'm always happy, and I'm always upbeat, and I'm always there to help. Because I have medical background in the past, I had been to nursing school for a short stint, and I still retain some of the information, even though I can't help with codes or anything, but I can help. If we do have a code, I can keep the crowd down. I can calm the family members. I can have them kind of move back so the doctors and the other technicians can come in and do what they need to do for the patients. I'm a housekeeper. I'm not a nurse. I'm not an MA, so I know my boundaries. There are a lot of things I can't do, but what I can do is keep the crowd control down. And there was an instance where there was a code, and we had a lot of new people in the area, and nobody knew what a crash cart was. I knew what a crash cart was, so I just broke off and ran and grabbed the crash cart and just pushed it on the rug down to the area, and then they were able to do what they had to do. But as far as helping with defib and all that stuff, I know that's not my job. Some of the medical experience I have, I can't administer medication or anything, but I can give them a box of Kleenex, or I can show them what a bathroom is, or I can give them some crackers to help with their nausea, or I give them a glass of water. As long as they're not NPO, I can, do small things like that as far as medical. The one good thing about working here that the doctors actually know my name, and I mean the upper doctors, and they're extremely friendly to me, and the nurses are really nice to me, and we all have our bad days, and if they snap at me, they're very quick to apologize. And I never really take offense because this building is kind of high stress, and you're going to have a bad day from time to time. And I'm a family. We're all a family. I'm not just a housekeeper to them, I'm part of the team. And that's why I like staying here as long as I have, because they treat me as part of the team. I think I've been here so long that it took me a while to pick up on stuff and to learn everybody's personalities and know when to step in and when to step out and when to be quiet and when to speak up. It takes a long time to learn the protocol of the Cancer Center. and to learn the personalities and to learn where they're from and to know if they're Southern, if they're Northern, if they're from Italy, if they're from America, to learn exactly what kind of person that they are. That way I'll never overstep my bounds. I think the most impact I have on people is the fact that when they see me, I'm smiling. And when they see me, they know, uh-oh, she's about to crack a joke or she's about to do something silly that's going to make me laugh, and that'll make their day. Just one little twitch will make their day. It's funny because I also do it for the staff too. I'll go in certain areas. There's always one person that I just love. And I'll ask them a question about what they do this weekend, or did they see a certain movie, or just to get them to laugh, because I know if I can get that one person to laugh, everybody will laugh. I love patients. I love sick people. I have so much to offer sick people. Because when I don't feel good or when I've been sick or have had to have surgeries, the one thing that got me through was a very pleasant staff member. Jokes, just being pleasant, being upbeat, having a great attitude. And that's what I enjoy the most about being here. It's so upbeat here. In fact, I consider this place the house of hope. And that's what I tell all the patients, and that's what I tell all the visitors. This is the house of hope.